Okay, so I got a few seeds from a new company called the Hudson Valley Seed Company out of New York. How the heck did somebody in East Tennessee find a apparently small seed company in New York? Well, it's all because of Tonya Anderson from the Lovely Greens YouTube channel. Just happened to get on, and as some of you may know from some of my videos and just the description on my YouTube channel here, I have a website where I dye yarn. So I'm always interested in dyeing in different types of yarn, stuff like that. And Tonya was giving some information about a new plant. It's basically a different from regular indigo. The Indigo tinctoria, I believe, is the actual name of it, which is the most, the one that everyone thinks of when they think about indigo dyeing and tie dyeing and things like that. I have tried in the past to grow the actual Indigo tinctoria. I believe that's the correct species name. If it's not, I'll put it in the notes below. You can buy indigo seeds at Pinetree Seeds. I've done that several times in the past. Never even gotten past the germination routine. And this last year, I was doing indigo again. I noticed that Pinetree has notated in the description for indigo, and also woad, which is another kind of plant material that's used to make a blue dye, says kind of hard to germinate. I was like, hey, you could have said that before, but okay. But came across Tonya's segment about this is Japanese indigo. And what is it? Where to go? Does it give a species name? Persicaria tinctoria, also known as Japanese indigo. And according to Tonya, this is easier to grow than regular indigo. So Hudson Valley Seed Company. I was doing a search on finding the seeds, and this website came across my search engine thing. And so I was like, okay. So here's our little seed packet. Hopefully that's up. Yep. So it's 25 seeds. Gives a lot of information on these little packs. I'm very happy with that. Tried and true plant for a textile dye. Grow your own blue dye. Certified organic, if that's of interest to anyone. It says it takes about 10 to 14 days for the seeds to sprout, 75 days for the plant to actually come to maturity. Supposed to be about 36 inches tall when it's mature, although the ones I saw on Tonya's website look a little bit larger than that. Tonya is a YouTuber out of the UK. She lives on the Isle of Man. Go check out her channel. She's got great stuff. She has a book out. I have the book. It's a good book. Let's see. This is a vigorous plant. Produces an abundance of side shoots for cut and come again plant dye material. In her video, she shows you how to actually use the leaves. So I saved it to my own library so I can go back and look at it again. Easy leaf processes for aquas, teals, and pale blue greens. Start indoors 6 to 8 weeks before last frost. So for me, that'll be about mid-February. Seeds can be pre-soaked before planting. All right. So this is going to be one of my experiments for this year. As always, gotta do something new. Another thing that I was looking for was a variety of calendula called Resina. This is supposed to be one of the varieties. Beaker, you've been out. You didn't like it was cold. Chill out, or I'll throw something at you, like Sneezy Pearl. Anywho, back to the video. So I saw that this was on their website. You know, I can't just go to a seed website and only buy one pack of seeds. That's just wrong. So Resina, it has been touted as the kind of a variety of calendula that has the most oomph for making salves and medicinal type things. It looks quite pretty. So I got that one. I also got another variety of broccoli called Solstice. I can't remember why I bought this. Other than I needed broccoli. I think this is one of those ones that was better in kind of above average heat for broccoli. So let's see. Early, reliably heading variety for summer or fall. I'm going to assume this means for like up in the Northeast, not here down the Southeast that gets way too hot for any kind of brassicas. But we'll see. So I think this is one of the ones that are better for fall planting. Yes, actually. Crowns are a bluish green with some purple tinging, or even better in the fall, harvested after the first frost turns them solidly purple. Okay, so this is going to be one of my fall broccolis, if I can hold on to things. All right, so fall broccoli. And then last but not least, I already have Phacelia seeds, but they had these neat little packets. Some of their seeds comes in these cool envelopes. Evidently somebody does the artwork. So the artwork is by Francis Gaffney. And it's just a little self-made envelope that the seeds are in. I thought that was really cool. So I already have Phacelia seeds, but I got more because evidently these are really good for the bees. And I tried to grow some. I think I just kind of broadcast them into a bed, but it could possibly have been that not knowing what the seedlings look like, I just kind of weeded them out. I don't remember seeing any flowers like this in many of my beds. So I got another packet with, let's see, there's 500 seeds in here. So by God, I'm getting some Phacelia. And apparently, if once you grow it and you let it flower and go to seed and drop the seeds, it'll keep self-sowing itself. So I'm okay with that because I can always pull out the little seedlings and put them somewhere else, potentially. My luck, these guys really hate being touched. So fast-growing, bee-pleasing, fragrant, fiddlehead-like blooms, direct sow. Planting tips inside. All right, I'm not going to open this up just for that, but and this was another one. I actually ordered these on Christmas Day on the website, and I got the seeds. Let's see, Christmas was Monday. I got them on Thursday, so I think that was pretty good. So far, Baker Creek and now Hudson Valley are in my good list, my nice Santa list for prompt seed company deliveries. All right, so next we'll do my pine tree. My pine tree? Yes, pine tree seed haul. Hi guys, Pam from the Woolly Dragon. This is going to be added on to my haul from Hudson Valley Seed Company. This is going to be pine tree seeds, garden seeds. I've used them for quite a while. Let's see, I moved to Tennessee in 1982 and I was just a mere babe. Still am a babe, but not a beer. I'm a babe, right? Sure. Okay, so I can't remember exactly when we started using Pinetree, but they were like one of the first ones we actually used for our garden back when I was living at my parents' place. So could be 30 years, could be 40 years, somewhere in there. Always had pretty good results with them. These are one of these, it's another one of these family run companies. I have really not ever had any kind of problems with, you know, issues or anything that wasn't my fault. Whether it was I didn't know enough about a certain kind of plant to be able to grow them from seed or whatever. I mean, I've had a few issues with some of the stuff that I grew from there, but I'm pretty sure it was my fault because I wasn't used to growing them. So, as ever with most of the stuff that I'm going, this year I'm just kind of sort of replacing stuff that I really do like, needing new seed for basically. And as always, whenever I do start buying seeds early on in the season, January, sometimes December, actually all December so far this year, everything, but this arrived yesterday. And yeah, I've already looked at it, but I'm going to share with what I got for you. So as I mentioned with, what was it, Seeds and Such, Pinetree does not have the super sexy, pretty pictures. I mean, it's got some pictures, but they're basically drawings. So if you're, you know, wanting actual photographic proof, I mean, there's a bunch of different seed companies, Baker Creek, Ferry Morris, drawing a blank, as usual. But one thing that Pinetree does is it gives quite a bit of information. So my first, this is a new variety of spinach called Palco. And on the front, it tells me that it's organic seed. And it's certified organic. It's an F1 hybrid. Which means, no, I can't collect seeds from this and expect to get the same kind. But basically what I do is I'll buy stuff like this and try and get smaller quantity of seeds just in case they suck. And I don't have to worry about trying to figure out what to do with, you know, 1,000 seeds of something that I don't like anymore. Tells you how to sow it, when to sow it, how long it takes for it to germinate, how long till after you've planted it, you know, how many days it'll take before you can start harvesting. In this case, 38 days, so in about 5 weeks, once the soil warms up a little bit. Spinach is one of those things, a lot of people will just direct sow it, but since my springs can be kind of hinky here, I mean, this is the 4th of January, 2024. It can either be, you know, freezing cold here until now, until April. It's never done that before, so it doesn't do it now. But, or we could have 2 weeks of, you know, temperatures in the 60s and 70s, and it warms up and it's nice and sunny. January, however, is usually kind of dull, gray, chilly, but not totally freezing. Although tonight's supposed to be down to 19 degrees, so oh yay. Packed for 2024. It's got a lot number. I like those, so in case you do have a problem like Peppergate last year, you know, if you have a lot number, you can possibly get your money back if you know exactly where you got your seeds from. So, so that's just something to shoot for. So there are 75 seeds in this pack. I grow this. I decide I don't like it, then I won't have missed out on much. But I'm always on the lookout. Right now, my favorite, I've got 2 spinaches that work kind of okay for me. I generally try and use, get spinach that is more warm weather resistant, doesn't bolt as quickly. So far, my favorites have been Space and a variety called Lakeside. I believe I got on Territorial Seeds. I was running out. I have more Space, but I was running out of the Lakeside, and I decided to go ahead and try this since I wasn't going to be making an order with Territorial yet. All right. So that's spinach. The radish mix from Pinetree is just, they just throw everything but the kitchen sink in there, everything they have, and you get, it's a great way of having just a melange of different kinds of radishes. Sometimes you can tell which variety is when you look at them as they're growing. You won't know which is which unless you know truly your radish varieties. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I just want different varieties. There are 1,000 seeds in here, so it's going to last me quite a while. I don't plant that many radishes at a time. You know, I'll do a short row of radishes, and then maybe 2 weeks later I'll plant another one. And then as the first row is being used, the second one's starting to grow up, and then I grow another. So I try not to grow too many just because my mom doesn't like radishes. I like radishes, I just don't eat that many. My dad likes them because he's German, but yeah, just like the lettuce, we don't use that many radishes. And I've seen several recipes and things for like roasting radishes and frying radishes and things like that. Oh, there's recipes on here, as a matter of fact. Let's see, slice raw with salt and butter. Never had my radishes with butter. Shave them raw over salads, roast at 400 degrees until cooked through, and then toss with a little honey and a splash of vinegar. Maybe I'll try that. I've never seen recipes on Pinetree. That's cool. And again, instructions on how to grow if I had any questions about growing radishes. I'm trying what I thought was a new variety of green onions or bunching onions, spring onions. I thought this was a variety called Heshiko, but evidently Heshiko is Japanese for Evergreen. I have used Evergreen before. I liked them. So I went ahead and bought them and then realized it was probably a variety that I've tried before, but I'm not mad about it because I liked Evergreen. It is an heirloom. Got about 400 seeds in here. I can start them indoors, which I will be doing. I'll be doing all of my onions here in about a week or so. Starting them inside so I can plant them out, you know, March-ish, mid-March to late March. And I have found, however, when you do grow bunching or bulbing onions, you can use some of the green leaves as green onions. I like onions. I'm okay. I'm doing a different variety of Chinese cabbage or Napa cabbage. This one is called Emiko. I have grown Chinese cabbage in the past. The variety that I used didn't do all that well, wasn't very big. So I'm just gonna go, I think this is just a regular Napa head of cabbage. So I'm gonna try this. The one I tried before, I can't remember what the variety was. So let's go back and see if I can find what the variety was so I can let you know. It was supposed to be one of the smaller varieties. So you can grow more plants in less space kind of deal. but didn't work. So I'm just going to try this different variety. And again, I kind of want to say that this is something that's good for warm spells. It doesn't bolt as quickly. And then, so this is cabbage. However, this is a smaller variety of cabbage that I've grown before and I kind of like. It's called Katarina. It makes heads about that big, so maybe softball size. And, you know, I use it for coleslaw and things like that. At some point, once I figure out timing on cabbage and maybe the variety of cabbage that works the best for the bigger heads, I'll start growing either, you know, cabbage to make my own, like either kimchi or sauerkraut. Again, I like kimchi and I like sauerkraut on my Reuben sandwiches, but even though I am part German, I just don't eat sauerkraut just for the sake of eating sauerkraut. Kimchi, for some reason, I do. All the kimchi that I've ever eaten has been store-bought. Maybe I'll try making some kimchi, but yeah. I mean, if I want to have a Reuben, I've got an Amish Mennonite grocery store like 2 miles that away that I can go to on Fridays, and they make really good ones. So cabbage, whether it's the Napa cabbage or the regular cabbage, if I never figure out a way to grow them so that they head up well enough and also keep the cabbage worms off of them, when I can get out there and spray with the BT spray, that does a really good job. But sometimes it'll rain and then I'll forget that it's rained and I'll go back and the BT is washed off and they're back. I've got to work on my insect cloth to keep them off of it. So many things I have to do and I never get to it. All right, so that was it for veggies. So pretty mundane. Most of them are either varieties that I've used before, or at least types of veggies that I like. I'm just trying a new variety. Oh, that's where you went. All right, I lied. One more veggie. So this is a variety of tomato called Verona. One of my favorite kinds of tomatoes is a grape tomato called Juliet. I'm starting to notice that Juliet seeds are not quite as commonly found as they have been in the past. So this is supposed to be the variety that's supposed to take over for it. It's supposed to have more disease resistance and be tastier than Juliet. I think it's fairly new because this is one of those ones where there's only 5 seeds in the packet. I can't remember how much I paid for it originally. No, the purchase order doesn't have prices on it, of course. But, you know, it wouldn't have been that much. But, so I just bought this. I do have Juliet seeds still. I'm going to go and look at my seed stash and see how many Juliet seeds I actually still have. If I make another seed order, which I usually do, I may try and get another packet just in case they're phasing out Juliet altogether. I'm finding, let's see, there's 2 veggies that I really like. It was a Pam pumpkin, P-A-M, which, you know, obviously is my name, but I grew that quite a bit several years ago, and they seem to resist the squash bugs better than anything else I've ever grown. And there's a variety of butternut squash called Narragansett that also did well and actually grew these big butternut squash that I still have, you know, several years later. I think 2019 was the last time I grew it. I still have some in the freezer. I probably need to get used, but I still have seeds for Narragansett. I don't have any more of the Pam pumpkin seeds and cannot find them. My last holdout was Johnny's Seed. Last year had a variety of pumpkins called Baby Pam that I wasn't too sure if that's just a new nomenclature for it, since it was supposed to be a little pie pumpkin, or if it's an actually, a different variety with the same kind of name, kind of deal. I was going to go back this year. I don't normally buy a whole lot from Johnny's just because that's more of a, they do have seeds for just home gardeners, but, unless I'm buying 1,000 seeds of one variety, the price doesn't quite. So I was going to put together an order and get some Baby Pam, but they don't even have that on the website anymore. So I'm going to try Verona and see how they do. Either it's going to be something that's really, really great, or it's going to be horrible and they're going to take away my Juliets. And I'll be sad because I really like Juliets. They grow well. They have lots of little tomatoes on them. And I've actually had better luck growing the Juliets and using those for my sauce and salsas than growing paste tomatoes. So it's kind of a multi-purpose kind of tomato for me, at least. Okay, flower variety, Zinnia. I love the variety of Profusion Zinnias. These guys are more low growing. They don't get up, 3 or 4 feet like other types of zinnias do. They're more low growing, maybe 12 to 18 inches tall. And they have their flowers, it just keeps going. You don't really have to deadhead. I usually do try and get out there and deadhead, but you don't have to. I've had them self-sow for me. And I saw this variety, it's called Profusion Double Red. The ones I have are just the regular red, that's just like a single. So I'm hoping this will fit in with my Profusion. I also have the Profusion Apricot, which I'm not really a pastel flower kind of girl for the most part, except for like lavenders and that kind of stuff. But the apricot, it looks kind of beige to me, and it's not really my thing. So I still have seeds for it. I may just throw them on the ground and see if they come up, and that'll be done with it. Okay, so last packet of seeds. I'm going to try growing spearmint from seed. Now, why would I want to grow spearmint from seed? Because I can. But also I have, I've got apple mint. I've got the 2, 3. So I've got 4 different kinds of mint growing out there. But one thing I've noticed about them, I don't know if they're cross-pollinating when they put off their seeds, and what's coming back are the seedlings from the previous years. They just don't seem to be quite as minty. The only exception to that is the apple mint. Apple mint continues to be minty and appley. But I want to get some spearmint. And yeah, I can, go to Lowe's or, a nursery center or something like that and get a little pot of spearmint. But for the price of one of those plants, I could have gotten 2 packs of these. There's 100 seeds in here. I really doubt that all 100 are going to come up. I'll be lucky if one comes up. But still, this packet cost me less than 1 plant. So I'm crossing my fingers that I get at least 1 plant out of this and that it continues to grow. Let's see, start indoors 6 to 8 weeks before last frost. So on the surface, lightly cover. 60 to 70 degrees soil temperature, grows to 36 inches, spaced 12 inches apart. You just put 1 plant down, you'll have an entire mat in no time. You can grow in pots, zones 4 to 5, germinates 10 to 21 days. All right. So that'll be middle of February. I'll start these guys. So I'm gonna go put this in my spreadsheet on my computer that I got them, and then starts the big planning of what I'm gonna plant and when. Pull out some of these apps that I have for sowing seeds, the seed times and the garden planners and all that kind of stuff. So time to have fun. All right, bye guys, see you next time.